So let us discuss about examples on looping and switch statements. First, difference between while loop and do while loop. Let us discuss about this. Coming to while loop, this is pre-tested looping structure, whereas do while is post-tested looping structure. It tests the given condition at initial point of looping structure. While loop will test the given condition at initial point of looping structure, whereas do while will test the given condition at the last of looping structure. So in while loop, minimum execution of loop is 0. In do while loop, minimum execution of loop is once. So what is the syntax? While test condition, if this is true, execute statement 1, statement 2, statement n. Next, for do while loop, the syntax is do statement 1, 2, n. Next, followed by while test condition semicolon. So you can see here semicolon used in do while. Whereas semicolon is not used in while. So let us come to the for statement. This structure is the fixed execution structure. This structure is usually used when we know in advance exactly how many times a set of statements is to be repeatedly executed again and again. So this structure can be used as increment looping or decrement looping structure. The general form of for structure is as follows. For expression 1, semicolon expression 2, semicolon expression 3. So in expression 1, initialization, we can that I have explained here. Expression 2 is represents condition. Expression 3 represents increment or decrement. Here, either you increment or decrement here. Here it should be a condition. Here it should be a initialization. This is actually for loop flowchart. So here enter the for statement. First initialization to the initialization happens. Then it will test the condition. If it is true, next statement will be executed. But if it is false, it will exit from the for statement. So now sum is initialized to 0. So for I is equal to 1, you can see here initialization is happening. I is initialized, then I is less than or equal to 10 means it's a condition. I is incremented, I plus plus. So sum is equal to sum plus I. You're printing sum of numbers. See, starts from 0 till 10. This looping structure works as follows. First initialization is executed. Generally, it is an initial value setting for a counter variable and is executed only one time. Condition is checked. If it is true, the loop continues. Otherwise, the loop ends and control exits from the structure. Statement is executed as usual. It can either a single statement or a block enclosed in curled braces. At last, whenever is specified in the increase field is executed, the loop gets back to executed step 2. So the initialization and increase fields are optional. They can remain empty, but in all cases, the semicolon sign between them must be written compulsorily. So optionally, using the comma operator, we can specify more than one expression in any of the fields included in a for loop. You can see here, I'm asking the user to enter the number and reading that in the variable num. First, I'll initialize fact variable to 1. Then for I is equal to 1, I have initialized I value to 1. I'm checking for the condition. If it's less than or equal to num, then do that fact is equal to fact into I. So as long as this condition is true, it will be executed. Once it's out, the num will have the factorial of that number. So num, factorial of a num, now num of the factorial of num will be stored in fact. So that fact value directly you can print and get the factorial of a given number. So write a C++ program to generate the Fibonacci sequence up to a limit using for statement. So this is how a Fibonacci series looks like. 0, 0 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, like that it goes on. So first, how do you do this? First, I'll ask the user to enter the number limit for Fibonacci series. That will be saved in the variable num. So I'll declare one more variable called first, and I'll initialize it to 0. Second, I'll initialize it to 1. Now, third is equal to first plus second. Like that, for count is equal to 2. Third is, see, I have initialized count from 2. Okay, so from 2 it starts. Third is less than or equal to num. First, third. Next, see, second is equal to first, third is equal to second, first plus second. It's, see, the condition, this will happen as long as this condition is true. So total terms is count. If I come to jump statements or transfer of control from within loop. Transfer of control within looping are used to terminate the execution of loop, exiting a loop, halfway through to skip the loop. All these can be done by using break, exit, and continue statements. So coming to break statement, the break statement has two uses. You can use it to terminate a case in the switch statement, or you can also use it to force immediate termination of a loop like while, do while, and for bypass in the normal loop conditional test. When the break statement is encountered inside a loop, the loop is immediately terminated and program control resumes at the next statement. So the general form of break statement is, you can see here, that is break. For n is equal to, for loop I have used initialization, condition, then I'm printing n value. If n is equal to 10, break. So as long as n becomes equal to 10, it will print. Once it's done, so it will, whether it is true or not, it will never bother. It will come out from the for loop. That is break. It breaks the loop. To test whether a given number is prime or not using break statement. You can see here, allows the user to enter the number. I'll read into n. Now, status I have initialized to 1. Initialization I have done to 2. I'm checking whether that I is less than or equal to n by 2. If n modulus I is equal to 0, the remainder is equal to 0, then I'll make status is equal to 0. It's not a prime. Otherwise, it's a prime. It's a prime number. So we have discussed few programs on switching. First, we started with while loop, do while loop. for statement, for loop, and then programs on jump, break. How do you, just using break statement, how do you find the given number, whether it's a prime or not, like that we discussed. So thanks for watching. For more such videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel. For any queries, please write to us.